So how can you make money as a photographer in 2023? That's the question I'm going to help you answer today. It's every photographer's dream to have their work appreciated, and an even bigger dream to get paid while doing it. But I'm sure if you're watching this video, you already know it's easier said than done. In 2021, I was in the same position, looking for ways to try to get my work out there and turn it into a side hustle if possible. But now it's 2022, and I'm here to talk to you about what did work and what maybe didn't work. The good news is these methods don't require a lot of overhead, and they don't really take away from what you love doing, at least not too much anyway. So let's get into it. But before we do, I need you to smash the subscribe button and give this video a like. It really helps me out and I appreciate the support. The first way to make money is to sell your presets. You know those edits you spent countless hours on trying to achieve that warm glow or those cold moody tones? You put those out there for others to use. We don't want to be selfish, right? Now I know what you're thinking, what if I don't have an audience? What if no one knows who I am? What if I don't know how to market this? What if no one wants my presets? Here's the thing, I felt the same way. So I decided to test out my theory by opening an Etsy store. I sold my presets on Etsy with no direct link to my socials, no direct advertising from my socials, and no word of mouth whatsoever. The first few days were pretty slow, so I decided to do $1 per day advertising through Etsy. Soon enough, believe it or not, it was drawing attention and people were actually interested in the presets, happy with the presets, and buying the presets. Now Etsy isn't the only way to go about doing this. You can open up your own shop through an e-commerce platform, or you have the ability to link it directly to your own website and create a shop right on there. I just chose Etsy to be able to test my theory that without any direct traffic, you still have the ability to sell your presets. The next way to make money with your photography is stock images. Now I know what you're thinking, but just hear me out. If you're like me, then you likely have a lot of photos that are never going to be used and just sit there and take up storage space. This is where stock photos come in. You can either use photos that you have sitting there that you don't want to use personally or artistically, or alternatively, you can go out and take photos with the intent of using them as a stock image. Regardless of what method you choose, I encourage you to look at this as these images could be of use to someone else. You're providing a service, and they're not providing any service to you or anyone if they're just sitting on a file somewhere never to be used. And at the end of the day, it can't hurt to put them up on a stock image website and see what happens. Third, we have traditional photo shoots. If you love snapping photos, if you love meeting people, and you love seeing your work make an impact directly on the person, then this one's for you. Yes, it's obvious, but it's obvious for a reason. Now, one of the hardest parts about this is getting yourself out there, getting your name out there, and actually getting to work with clients. One of the easiest methods to work around this that I've found is to go out there, contact people, and offer your services at a reasonable price. Whether it's free or really undercutting the competition, it's a great way to do some work, show what you're capable of, and get your name out there. A good lasting impression is the key to repeat clients and word of mouth to others. Next up, we've got prints. If you've never printed your photos before, you should. There's just something about physically being able to hold your work and appreciate it that much more than when it's just behind a screen. There are tons of different print-on-demand services as well as local print shops around you that you can work with. Now, the way you choose to run your print business is up to you. You can either do a limited set where you'll print X amount and then sell them in person or online or whatever you may choose to do. The other method is a print-on-demand service where people will place orders and then you will get that image printed however you do and ship it out there. You're just going to want to test out a few prints yourself first because printed photos never come out like the photo looked on the screen. That's because a screen displays photos by directly emitting light, whereas a print reflects light. And although this difference doesn't seem important, it makes a big difference if you print your work and then look at the screen. Lastly, we have brand deals. This one is arguably the hardest and most time consuming, but honestly, it's the most rewarding. Once you've built up a good portfolio of your work that's relevant to the brands you want to work with, the next thing you need to do is develop a pitch. Now, putting a pitch together is an entire skill in and of itself, so I won't get into the details here on this video. But if you do want to see a video on that, let me know in the comments below. The most important thing to remember with this is that you need to build a portfolio first. Then you want to get into working on your pitches. And don't get discouraged if people don't respond or they say no. Just continue to work on your photos and your pitch, and you will get where you want to be. If you found this video helpful, please leave a like, subscribe, and let me know what other ways you might make money through your photography.